We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers, because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Patriot Party News. And here I go again. I got to change my background, but thank you for joining us. I hope that everybody is doing good. Where you come hang out with us is at join.patriotshoot.com. And that's where we share information, where we get the best information we can. We can gather it sometimes just kind of during the week, and we are always working on it, and so is everybody else. We're only as good as our patriots that are involved, and whether it be on whatever level. But what we want to have is somewhere that people can come to get involved, whether it's just getting the best information that we can cumulatively put together. And there are some big things that are fixing to come up. I want everybody to be aware of them. And throughout this show, I'm going to be telling what I think is going to be happening. I'm very confident in it. Not always confident on timelines, but I feel very good. But right now, I want to bring in the fellas. Bring in Oathkeeper Bill and Mr. Edward Torres. What's up, fellas?
Hola, amigos.
What's happening?
Muchachos.
How's it going, my brother?
Man, I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm doing real good. I just did a show, and I like doing those shows kind of back to back. It gives me, as I go over, all the time, but it gives me 30 minutes to chill out and think about what's really going on. And right now I'm extremely comfortable and extremely happy about what's going on. It's hard to see. And if anybody is not seeing that, you're not necessarily to blame. Just know that it's a hard thing to understand and see. There's a lot of faith there, and there's a lot of trusting yourself and being able to feel the energy that's coming out of everyone. And I hope that people see that energy is changing and we are ascending. And I believe that with some things that are fixing to happen here in the very, very near future, that anybody that can see what's going on is going to have an extremely easy time getting through the rest of this. Because even though I believe some good things are coming, I believe some really incredibly rough things could come. Maybe I'm wrong. Sometimes I hope I'm wrong on a lot of things. What's y'all's thoughts on that? Do you foresee the same things that I see when I think what I'm referring to is when we make this big move and the Holy Grail comes out as far as election interference, which will be our first. We've been dealing with national security. We've been dealing with elections. That's what's coming out first. And anyone that went after Trump and his family and Flynn and his family. That's where I'm at. Of course, a lot of other things are happening too. So what do y'all think?
You go first, Eddie.
Well, as far as that concerned, it looks like it's how can I put this? It's something that needed to be done. Okay, it has to happen in order to correct this whole problem.
Yes,
I heard this theory, I think this morning, and it goes to what you're talking about, and you're just talking, but what it seems like, this is the theory that it was being exposed, that Trump is is knocking down everything, right? He's taking some of the lieutenants, captains, so on and so on, waiting to take the big people up. But the whole idea is that he is going to prevent from these captains or lieutenants or whoever to try to start something once everybody is taken down. You know, you have no other choice but to raise your hands and do the perp walk, the walk of shame. That's and it made perfect sense to me, and it clarified a lot of things that I was looking at, because it's not only going to happen here, but I think it's going to happen throughout the other countries that are involved in the whole operation.
Yeah. It's like there's a whole lot larger operation going on you can see, and it's being run from behind. Oathkeeper Bill, what do you think about what's going on right now? Any thoughts on that or anything else?
I think it's like Eddie was mentioning, it's needed, and getting to the fundamentals, right down to the, I don't want to say blank canvas, but the existing canvas that has the actual Constitution for the United States of America versus the overlay of the British Imperial Empire. Because we always had a republic, but we had an overlay of a British Imperial Empire over it. And that's what we are removing. And a huge identifier is that insurance company that you were talking about earlier in
Lloyds of London.
Lloyds of London. That is humongous. That's 20% worldly GDP, isn't it? That oil.
It's all the money. Yeah, it's billions and hundreds of billions of dollars that they just lost out on because Trump insured the oil going back and forth.
And by doing that, that is a big kick to the British Imperial Empire. We have our Board of Peace. We have our Western Hemisphere going back to the fundamentals of the Monroe Doctrine. Whether he updates it to the Trump Doctrine, I don't know. I would assume he would. But the Monroe Doctrine, we're not changing anything. We're going back to what we always thought we were in the first place. And that by doing that, the cartels, all of the things that have built up throughout the couple centuries now, but everything that has built up, and it just looks like it's too much. Similar to what that gentleman was saying in your last show, you start in a position, you have 2 to 4 years. By the time your 2 years, your 3 years comes in, you have kind of a game plan of, oh my goodness, we need to change some things. Boom, you're done. There's no ability to go back, if you will, because the NGOs have done so much, because so much of the corruption had occurred. It's hard to keep good people in. And I think we are to a precipice right now, and I think Miss Tina Peters, to me, this is my opinion, mind you, her release, to me, will be the end of the British Imperial Empire on our judicial system. And I think that's when game time is going to start. That's my opinion there.
I believe that. So anyone that doesn't know, that's not a big deal. But what Trump has done is the Lloyds of London, they are the ones that insure all of the let's say the transit, insure all of the maritime shipping. All right. So what they've been able to do is they will say, yeah, you're insured to go through here, to go here. So they get to actually direct where ships can ship to, where who you can trade with and things like that. That's maritime shipping. Now, also, what Trump has done in deciding to insure that, us insure him, is that has made it to where it's changed it where the Lloyds of London, they don't have the ability to halt transit through the Straits of, what's it called, Hormuz. See,
yeah.
and that's what it was. Everybody thought, oh my goodness, oil's going to go to $150 tomorrow. Oh, $150. No, it's not. No, it's not, because of what he did. It might go to 100. It might go to 100. It might go up just a little bit. We know it is. It's war, and we had to do it. But removing that leverage point that they had, they would have spiked that stuff to $250 a freaking barrel. There's no telling where it would have gone to. So people that said that were correct if Trump didn't do what he did. That people that said, hey, it's going to go up. Yes, it was. You're exactly right. But it didn't, because, and is probably not going to much more than it is now. I hope not. I could be wrong, but who knows? We'll see. But what he's done is the city of London. If you do that to the Lloyds of London, that's the city of London. That's the Bank of England. That's the British Royal Empire. That's the bad guys. That's the ancient Persian. That's the 13 families. So Trump has pretty much the ones that finance everything by targeting the operational arteries that we use to move stuff, plus the cartel's money flows, plus Iran's capacity to elevate what they're doing. The city of London maritime law is pretty much choked out, in my opinion. Now, Israel, what they want to do, they want to go in there and vaporize it, buy. And Trump said, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. I'm running this show, and what we're going to do is do exactly what I say we're going to do. And that's what Trump is doing through every step of this game. He is not beholding to Israel. What he is sometimes our enemy of our enemy can be a friend for a certain time, my opinion.
Yep.
But
there's two things about that I want to talk about the oil. Yes,
sir.
Just two quick things. Earlier this morning on Fox Business, one of the finance houses, whatever the hell they're called, was asked, well, how much the oil would go up. And he said somewhere between 120, 130. But he gave it a time limit that within 3 weeks it would come back down.
Yeah.
To maybe
it could go
below
there. Yeah.
$50 a barrel.
Yeah.
But the other thing too, I mean, this is a question that I asked this morning. Nobody had, when we were on the chat, nobody had an answer, nor do I. But here we claim that we have the biggest oil reserves in the world. We have to include Venezuela now, right? 17 trillion gallons or 17 billion gallons, whatever it is. How come we're paying international prices?
How come we're what?
Why are we paying international prices for oil when we're the major producer of oil and gas and everything else?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening in the Middle East is, my point is, whatever happening in the Middle East, as far as the oil is concerned, shouldn't affect us because we got our own stuff, and a lot of it. You see, that was a question that was asked this morning, and I ask it again because I don't have an answer. But I think, companies are trying to get money,
My opinion is that it's been like this for a long time. Our opponents are also are friends of who our past administration. They're on the same team, and they have had it set up, which means some of the oil folks are on the same team, and they are fighting back. So that, in my opinion, there's a lot of red tape, but I believe that you're onto something, and it will change. That I think that will change, and we're going to be good. But right now, it's kind of like silver has just spiked. Well, if somebody wants to go out and just all of a sudden start a silver mine, they got 2 years, year and a half at least to get things going. Things take some time to get going. We have been stuck in this scenario with people on our soil that are for the other team, not cooperating, just like that we have seen people in the Democrats. That's the same thing. They're not cooperating. Rhinos are not cooperating. People that we think should be on our team are sometimes not cooperating. And that's because they're compromised and being forced to not do exactly what Trump has done. So Trump's, in my opinion, he's fixing to just bring it out and say, okay, well, here's what you did, just like he did when he went on his world tour with Saudi Arabia and China and Japan and everybody and laid it out. I've got your freaking butt. So you're going to either act right or we're going to give you some act right. Just my opinion.
No, I agree with that one 100%. You know, it just also the other side of what you're saying is that we also haven't heard the final the final decision on the Branson case. That's the other side.
Lloyd?
Yes.
Lloyd Brunson.
Yes.
In my opinion, that will come up at a date. When it's time for that to come up, I think that, what can I say? I believe that there's a lot of cases that we know about that are already in with other information already waiting for the time for its turn to come up with an event driven scenario. That's where I'm going to stay right there. So I don't get in trouble.
I agree with that one. That's something that. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Eddie. I had a delay.
No, go ahead. I'm
having good. Okay, Bill.
Oh. All right. I was talking to a family member today about. I don't see anything. I just don't understand. You know, why don't we hear the truth? Why don't we see this? I said, I sent him a 7-minute clip of Steve Miller talking to Western Hemisphere military high members of their particular countries. And it's piggybacking off of everything that President Trump has already identified through executive orders of cartel are terrorists, you know, and in different ways, talking about how we're not going to give an inch to the enemy anymore, things of that nature. Within each of your countries, you need to look at the security of your civilians, you know, things like that. To me, none of that can be able to even get to this level if we didn't get the upper echelons cleared out first, which has had to be clandestine. It had to be a clandestine situation to clean out the British Imperial Empire, to clean out what we see with Iran. What are by getting rid of that Islamic regime, what does that do? That stops giving, let's call it, hope. It puts the fear of, I don't want to say God, but Mohammed, let's say, it puts the fear of Mohammed in every one of these Islamics that are in the United States of America right now. Because they're like, shit, daddy's gone, you know? So now we, as well as the whole Western Hemisphere, because that's all we can talk about is our hemisphere, right? So when Steve Miller's identifying the things he is, to me, that's perfect because the federal government, the president, the CIC, the commander in chief, did his job. He did his job taking care of the outside of the United States.
National
Now,
security.
national security. Now we're working more within in the Brunson case, the COVID-19 information, the Epstein files, the Federal Reserve, uh, the way that the judicial system works. Everything else will just, to me, organically get cleaned out now without anywhere near the civil unrest in respect to civil war that it could have been. Are we going to still have civil unrest? Yes. I'm starting to see in my local community, I have a young nurse who is a whistleblower to me from a local hospital that is doing horrible right now. They had National Grid come and say, you better pay your electricity bill. They have CAT scans that are not operating right now. There are things happening. Now, that's just that one. There's other things going on, too, where traditionally money would come from those NGOs or COVID-19 programs or whatever the heck they being the bad people. We're starting to see the trickle down now. It's going to suck. It's going to look painful. But what we're really doing is going back to the fundamentals of the Constitution for the United States of America. And eventually, you're going to see a difference in the financial situation as well. Because what better way to stop people from buying children parts, but to change the whole financial system as well on a ledger system, that XRP, XLM, the blockchain technology. We have the Federal Reserve and Kraken that is now going to be reading, if you will, electronically all of the Federal Reserve information. We have the Clarity Act getting ready to be signed. That's going to tie everything in together. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, I knew it. They're going to get that CBDC and it's going to scare us. And the government's going to... We're going from a dark to a light. What you once saw and heard in respect to, like, I'm going to call it the Fed now, because I believe that's what the original bad people had in plan was Fed now, and it was to utilize the central bank digital currency. We are not going to be utilizing that. We're going into something different. Does it mean it can't be manipulated somehow? Oh, I'm sure. But it's out to better the whole world, in other countries, especially with their the rate of their money, was it currency level,
exchange rate.
Exchange rates. I mean, it's just so exciting.
Yeah.
What
But
we see.
To your point about the CBDCs, Cuba is under that system. Okay. And the last thing I heard, Mexico wants to go into that system, into the digital CBDC. So that way they could control everything. And you're talking maybe close to 75 million people, So that's one for for people to look out. People need to be, in other countries, need to be educated in what they're coming. But, information in Mexico, it just goes, oh, and then that was the other thing. When you said something about the money, it just brought to my memory that in Cuba, there's no electricity, but because of the digital CBDC, they cut down all ATMs. You can't get any money. And then the other thing too, that the humanitarian aid that was sent from Mexico to Cuba, the military, the elites took over that shipment coming into the country and set up their warehouses where they only accept dollars if you want something, if you want to buy something. Guess what? How can you buy something when there's no money? Because you're controlling it.
The hedge that President Trump talks about with the U.S. dollar is going to still be the world's currency. I think it's more in respect to XRP, XLM through Ripple. And that's where I feel the rest of the world will then come on track with that, to where CBDC, even in each individual country, will no longer be a factor. It's so exciting what's happening, what's coming, but if you don't research it, it's going to get scary. And this is not a matter of us, I told you so's. This is a matter of all of us, these many, many years that we've been doing this. Our real job hasn't even started yet. I believe our real job will be on that day one when we get, can I talk to you for a minute? And I'm going to say, welcome. I love you. Here I am. Here we are. Let's go.
Yeah.
Knowing the battlefield is one big thing. There's a lot of things domestically going on that are being addressed and are going to be addressed, in my opinion. But first, I believe what Trump's idea is, or what his plan has been, is to get us safe from some really bad things that could go on our soil, from terrorists that have come in here. He's been getting those people out strategically. Everybody thought, oh, yeah, watch out for your kids that are illegal and everything. No, watch out for those kids for the administration before. That's who you watch out the kids about. He has strategically gone in and done this, because the people that were funding those kids coming over and doing all that, that is the British Empire that funded the Bolsheviks. That this is 400 years old. So you've got the British Imperial Empire, as Susan Kokinda calls it. You've got the CCP. You've got Wall Street. They own Wall Street. You've got the bankers, the City of London. Lloyds of London is right there in it. He's doing everything that he said, because this big financial empire, they rely on shipping goods, hard commodities, oil, gold, copper, so whatever, to feed their nastiness. How's it moved across the sea? By ships or by freaking large aircraft? They can't do it right now. We've got them locked down. So, the paramilitary and corrupt networks that are out there working as pirates in the air and in the sea have been having a heyday with the administration that they placed in our offices because of cheating elections. You can run back in everything they were able to do because of cheating elections. Well, what Trump just did, and I'm going to say it again, that he just removed their insurance wing of the cabal, their shipping, their aircraft capabilities, and that's going to take their system and throw it in the freaking dirt. After a 400-year-old war, this is all about sovereignty. This is going to go on longer than everybody wants it to know. But if you are awake and you understand what's going on, you're going to have a lot easier time, because there's fixing to be a moment when everyone that knows what's going on and the Holy Grail comes out, you're going to have a big sigh and say, oh, thank the Lord, while other people are to their knees saying, oh no, Lord, what kind of mess have you gotten us into? No, we're good. This is working out perfect. But you got to be able to understand the battlefield and know who you're fighting, in my opinion.
And that's huge too.
True.
Understanding the battlefield, because it cannot be done like a switch. We would be living the Mad Max tomorrow morning situation. That's why, and some people say, well, we just need the truth. We need the truth. Well, we need people to still go to work. Even though you know you're going to that snake pit tomorrow, we still need you to go there. We need you to do that. We need you to still support your family. You still need to utilize the hospitals, even though we understand there's med bed technology out there. We understand there's different frequencies that can heal you. You still have to go through these channels. You are pioneering, literally pioneering our real, true. Uh, this is This is like the Revolutionary War, but this time we win. In my opinion, that we are winning. We are colonialists in a digital screen here. Imagine a big barn with hay behind us, saying, "Listen, everybody, this is what's going on. This is what our leaders are doing. This is what our commander in chief is doing." There's no difference. Just the era is different, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, at the same time that Trump is doing that to the British Empire, what he's doing at home is all of these people. I've talked about a huddle up a lot, but all these people that organically went out and got information, some have been working at a lot longer than others. Chief Sean Taylor is the bomb. I'm so proud of him. I'm so completely in awe and proud of him, because look, this bond stuff, this school bond, all the stuff he's going at, we're talking $50 to $100 trillion, people. This is all of our wealth has been taken. And this chief sheriff has foiled it, just handed over all of the information to the people that are the ones that are able to indict and decide who are able to indict. And a lot of people, the thing is, you can't see that, and I understand that. And that's where I sometimes I'm like, man, I wouldn't tell you something that's not true. You know, that's what's going on, and it's widespread through schools, through the fraud. The estimates are freaking crazy. I mean, now what's going to happen is we're getting away from the debt-based system to a sovereign system. Think of Nasara. Learn and understand Nasara. Nobody's ever probably going to say Nasara, but that's what I would be if I didn't know what was going on. I would consider this is okay. I'll look at Nasara. You could look at Nasara, Gasara. But this is about your sovereignty. It's going to be hairy. It's going to look crazy, and people are going to flip out, and something's going to come over something's going to come out from some station that doesn't make any sense, and it's going to be thrown out there that all this stuff is going on. And just give it a day, give it 2 days, listen to everybody, put what you need to, what works for you on a shelf, whether I say it, whether anybody in the world says it. Start grading yourself on how you're getting things right, and it will help you, because we're all responsible for ourselves. If I say something wrong later on, I get to say, man, I missed that. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to do better. And I don't plan on having to do that.
Very true. You know, we just had the primaries here in Texas, and the Proposition 10 was passed with 95% that everybody voted.
Amen.
That was Tuesday, but
No
you know, I did
Sharia law.
Against Sharia law.
Yeah, no Sharia law is what he's talking about there.
Yeah, no Sharia law. That's what passed. You know, it's if you, And the reason I'm kind of disappointed, I'm happy that it passed, because that says that everybody's on the same sheet of music.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here in Texas. I'm not talking about anywhere else. I'm just talking about here in Texas. That, okay, you want to ban Sharia law, but how are you going to ban it? And let me explain. I did some research, and it turns out that every time that you try to ban, because one comes with another, you have Islam and Sharia law. They come together. It's one and another, right? One is a religion, one is the law.
Yes.
So every time that that has been tried to pass, it always, it has passed, and it had to, they have gone up to the Supreme Court. They had turned it to be unconstitutional. Okay, maybe an amendment. So I started looking in the immigration law, and the only time that actually helped was the Immigration Act of 1929. That's the Johnson-Reed Act, which created a quota for, where are you? Here you go. And restricted the immigration from the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and regions within significant Muslim populations. Okay. And that almost brought the immigration to almost zero coming in. Now, in the past, there was always a number of immigrants that could be brought in, okay, that were brought into the, accepted to come in. And it was what they used to call the quota. There was a quota for everybody. So that might be a solution. I don't know. How they're going to implement this, how the law is going to read, I don't know. Because because you can't legislate or put a law against religion, a belief, because it's unconstitutional. It falls under the First Amendment, right? But you can do something to restrict the Sharia courts, because that is not religion. That is something else. You could do that. Now the question is, how are you going to do it?
If I may,
Sure.
what we were talking about earlier in respect to a lot of these things that are coming to head, the COVID-19, the election fraud, interference, everything. Well, it's going to also go back to where they wanted Hillary Clinton to be president. That's a lot of why these borders were opened up to bring in this evil. And I'm calling Islamic Sharia law evil. It's, to me, it's not anyway. But
it's not
organically,
comparable
these
to,
folks
to
are
our
just going to
beliefs.
actually want to leave through Jasara. Right. They're going to want to leave through Jasara. And I think you're going to have your real high up, mentally ill Islamic terrorists. Obviously, they're going to, one way or the other, kill or be killed. Or you'll have your Muslims who will organically come in tune and want to go back home, wherever home may be, with their Muslim faith. To me, that's where Jasara is going to really help implement that, because out of 100 Muslims, you might get 2 radicals, right? I don't know the complete thing, but
the question,
them,
just
the
question of those, what are you going to do with the ones who are U.S. citizens and don't want to go?
They would have
were
to
born
acclimate
here in the United States
to the Christian values. It has to
so
be
you're
to the
making,
value of
you're
the
making
country.
Islam illegal. The religion of Islam illegal. and
Well,
it's against the First Amendment. It's a vicious circle, Bill.
no, I hear what you're saying, but I think with it, if we went to their country, right? I'm not going to force my religion onto them, especially if that's what's implemented in their country. But I hear what you're saying with the First Amendment, the right of religion. But I think there would be something in respect to Christianity being top dog, you know, within the Constitution, because in the Constitution it identifies that.
The thing is, if you go to a Muslim country and you want to do your religion, you would have to pay in order to practice your religion. It's just like a duty or something like that. You know, they can accept it and they don't have to accept it. So that's the thing. Here, under the First Amendment of the Constitution, it allows. So it's a question for the law scholars to answer. I was looking to see if there was an answer, because it came out, there was a law passed in 1954 or 52, something like that, that prohibits Muslims from, practicing Islam and Sharia law. There is no such thing. There is no law. I looked it all over the place. I went into the U.S. Supreme Court website and I looked for it, and there's nothing there. So, because that comes up to the point where the other side here in Texas, again, the H-1B visa abuse that's been taking place. There's a girl that I think her name is Sarah, and she works for the Blaze. And she's been looking at all these companies and going to the address, and there's nobody there. Okay, there's nobody working, because that's supposedly the business address. Nobody's working there. So where are these people? So it's being abused. Okay, which here again, ICE needs to look into that, but they're busy doing some other stuff. So what can I say?
A lot to it. A lot going on.
There's
going
a lot
on.
going on. There's a lot. The same thing with
the
the
trip,
mob.
trying to keep up with it. It's kind of a
Yes.
it's kind of a trip. What we do know for sure is that a global power has been out there. We think it is the City of London. We think it's the Wall Street CCP and intelligence networks like MI5, MI6, CIA have been heading those up. And they kind of act, it's like intelligence agencies. They kind of function as like security arms of the globalists. They bring in the information, they make it happen. And it's also been coordinated in cross-nation operations. It's not just, it's all over the place. It's everywhere. So there have been big maneuvers that have been going on by the other team, and up until this point, we haven't seen anything like we're seeing now. That is big maneuvers to hit them right where they don't want to be hit. Just know that when this happens, when this is going on with, let's say with the insurance thing, that is a hit. That's a hundreds of billion-dollar situation. They're going to bring everything, including the kitchen sink. Just know that. This is not going to be the funnest thing to go through, but we're getting all of them. We're going back to the Windsors, Gotha, we're going back to Sachs and Coburg, who were supposed to be in there, but instead we got some fake freaking royals in there, fake as it can be, just like things that have happened in Israel. It's the same playbook all over, just different centuries. It's different everywhere. Now, if we are fighting them and we know our battlefield and we're going after the city of London and all them, who are the city of London's boys in the United States? Brennan and Bolton. Comey. Look for Brennan. Hello, Brennan. Goodbye, Brennan. Just my opinion.
Huge.
First.
Yeah, it's been mentioned that Brennan has a big spread in Ukraine.
And in Serbia, where Brennan owns half of the land in Serbia where our votes were stolen. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot. And back to the Muslim Islamic, there's been doctrine, literal papers, documents to explain what they're doing, also to infiltrate from within. And if they have a plan of attack, that is then looked at as an enemy of war, right? Because even though our empathy of religion with our First Amendment being the right to religion, but if they're going to use it as a tool, which they have already, there's many doctrines that are already out there from the early 90s to when folks actually found that information, that's a whole different world. You no longer get constitutional authority over anything because you are now a terrorist.
Protection,
so
yes.
To me, that is going to be the saving grace upon Sharia law altogether.
But Bill, look, this is what I see, and I was watching this interview today. One of the representatives from Virginia is a Muslim. He was the same. He was a preacher, imam, preaching radical ideology in the mosque. Now he's in the state Senate or representatives of Virginia, and he's pushing for new laws to take away the Second Amendment. So where I'm going with this is, okay, we've seen what they've done in the UK, that every city around London, the mayor is a Muslim, and they're passing all these kind of laws and all types of stuff. People, wake up.
That's exactly it. And this is many decades in the making of programming people, desensitizing people. We must love you because you see yourself as a turtle. I mean, it's just crazy. you know, I mean, the warrior of an American, right, has slowly been whittled away. Well, we're back, and I do believe we're going to be there's going to be, I believe it's called a Great Awakening coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
To
the shame they've got to show us instead of tell us.
Yeah, they have to show us. And we have Man Dummy in New York City. I believe they're going to have a dog walk in New York City tomorrow. But everything we've identified.
Well, did you hear what Mandami has done in New York?
What now?
He raided the teachers' retirement.
Right,
is what's being reported, and also that store for free food, it's already closed after a week being open.
He's a piece of junk,
and that's what we're going to see. You know,
it doesn't
clean up
work.
on aisle 17 is coming.
Look, not Muslim, but the communist is to take from you to share with everybody, right? Everybody is the same. But guess what? They only could take so much, because then after that, there is no more to take. So what are you going to do? And that's what's happening in New York. That's what happened with the Soviet Union. That's why it fell, because it didn't work. So look what's happening to Cuba. It doesn't work. Okay? So
we got it, Eddie. We got it.
I don't know what else to say, man, because it's mind breaking that people still think, and trust me, I have plenty who still think, that I know of, that think that socialism, communism is the way to go. On paper, it's great. It's a great concept, great theory. In practicality, in the real world, it doesn't work.
We have children, and we have our grandchildren that we, the men, us talking right now, we know they're going to be safe. They're going to go due to what we know right now. And it's getting of time. I'm going to have to cut out, and God bless Miss Tina Peters, and God
Amen.
bless you guys, and have a good night.
Hey, thanks for showing up, brother. Edward,
Bill.
thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
Goalkeeper Bill, appreciate
Thank you,
all
guys.
you do, fellas.
Had a great time.
All right, have a good one. See you. Oh, Tina Peters, the world will know her name. Remember that Trump said that Tina Peters will be a hero. So I'm going to play off of that. I believe that in the very near future, within a week to 3 weeks, and I hope it's tomorrow, that Tina will be getting out of jail. There's red tape going on, but Polis has, Governor Polis has said, it was too much what they put on her, and the only reason he would do that is if they're in trouble. That's just my opinion. I believe she will be out. When she's out and when she's safe, I believe that the holy grail of coordinated information will be coming out. And we should expect the major reveal of from the White House of the holy grail again of election interference. These have been operations that have been going on for a long time. In my opinion, these are imminent disclosures. First, Tina getting out, then the Holy Grail comes. That will be something from the White House, and it will be all of the stuff we've been talking about. If you've been getting any of my information, that's what's going to be happening. When that happens, Martine will be coming to see us and explaining everything to us. He was supposed to come on Monday. So we will see how that goes. He could still be coming on Monday. It might be later in the week. It might be 2 weeks. It might be 3 weeks. But I would guess probably between tomorrow and the next 3 weeks. And if somebody tells me that it's about a week, then I say 1 to 3, just so everybody knows where I'm coming from, because I don't want to be wrong, but I've got to inform people what I'm being told, So if I ever miss one, and it doesn't come out like I say, or plans changed, or the people that are telling me things like that, if they were incorrect, I just know that they're not 100% read in, but they're wading through it just like I am, just like you are. One thing about it is that we have somebody in the coalition that has the top clearance. Well, we got a few of them that have got top clearances. Now, there are a lot of people that have information on 1 or 2 subjects, and everything else that they talk about, it's organic. They have gone out and studied it on their own time, between their job and gathering information and this and that. Everyone is in kind of the same boat, but there are some wonderful citizens that have been out, pretty much killing themselves, and they've been told they're gonna be killed. Threats against them, forever. There's threats against a lot of people right now, and it just is what it is. Freedom's not free, and that's just how it goes. But one big thing, somebody that the coalition knows very well, who does have top clearance, has ghosted some people. That is what, if you watched my show the other day when Peter Tickton came on, and Peter Tickton is Trump's best friend from the age of about 13. He was saying he was aggravated. He was aggravated about that, being ghosted by this person that he talks to on a regular basis. Well, so what we did is we just let that chill for a little bit, and we started thinking about it. We didn't go crazy, oh no, we're in trouble. No. What we did is all of a sudden we talked to somebody else that has contact with that person every day. Yeah, I've been ghosted too. And then talk to somebody else. They said they've been ghosted too. Well, then you have the right people come in and say, if they're ghosted, here it comes. Well, then at the same time, Peter Tickton tells us he expected Tina Peters to be out this week. Well, then Martine 3 weeks ago said, hey, I'll be back somewhere around 2 weeks after the White House does what it does. He didn't mention Holy Grail at that time, but now as we sit and we chill and we listen and we learn and we go about our business, then all of a sudden, what the people behind the scenes, in my opinion, call the information that's coming out, they call it the Holy Grail. Instances like that have happened many times, where a year and a half ago, I came up and said, hey, everybody, just so you know, there's going to be some freaking task force. I don't know what these task forces are going to be doing, but you're going to start hearing about task forces all over the place. And there's going to be secret indictments all over the place. Well, then you come and you say, okay, there's task forces everywhere. And then, hey, there's two big behind the scenes secret grand juries going on in Florida, at least one in Pennsylvania, at least one in Washington, at least one in New York. And nobody's talking about it. I don't know if it's because they don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's happening, and it's happening right on freaking time. I know it's been a long, hard road, but we're okay. So do as you please. Get the information that you want, that you need. And everybody's valuable. Everybody's valuable. Some people, this is going to be hard on. Some people, you're just going to skid right through it. Thank you for joining. We love your attendance. We appreciate all of the support that you give us. And we'd love for you to come join us if you haven't joined us already. It's join.patriotshoot.com. We really want to help you. That's about it. Plus, we need the support. And we think we're better with the numbers. We want to get you involved. If you want to be able to get involved, if you just want information, cool. If you just want to sit there, whatever. To each his own. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I look for big things to happen. Big stuff going on in overseas. Probably hear some things that you don't necessarily want to hear. And everybody keep your head on a swivel. There will be some fight back, and they will use their nasty folks to do it. Have a good evening. Take it easy. Join.patriotshoot.com. Thank you, and bye.